All right, so this one's gonna be, like I said, fairly quickly because there's an Eagles game on, but so this is day 5. I've got that taped down so it doesn't move. And I'm just going to, let's see, let's mark the top. This one, well, this one here, here, and then here. Kind of suggest where these, probably should use a little bit darker pencil. My goodness, I cannot see that. Put my glasses on, there we go. All right, so we've got one here. What I like about these paint challenges is I like forcing myself to kind of speed up a little bit. I'm going to a plein air conference or a bunch of classes, workshops in Lake Tahoe or Reno in May. And when you go out and you paint plein air, you really want to capture things quickly. And I'm really bad at overthinking. And so to do something like this kind of pushes your skill set in different directions or helps you, let's see, have that the right way. Yep, this is going like this, this, and we have the little vase that my daughter bought me. I feel like this should be longer than a 15-minute painting, but it's going to be a 15-minute painting. Let's see. It's got a nice wide. Okay, I'm not gonna get everything in here, but I am gonna suggest some of the more important things. All right, and we've got a beautiful tulip coming way down here. It almost looks like it's something out of a fairy tale novel, a little upside down umbrella of tulip leaves. Let's see, this is like this, boop, and a nice little, and then one back here. Okay, oop, too thick. We've got a beautiful leaf coming up here, and then this guy is coming out here. Let's see. You know, you could, not for these purposes, I don't think, take a picture of it and trace it if you're not real happy with your drawing skills. There we go. Got a few little things in here. And since the spirit of this is painting from life, I'm not going to change anything. I'm going to actually paint exactly what I see. Okay, this is coming over here. Tulips always initially look easy to me, and then they're not. But I've had a few tulip paintings that I've labored over that have turned out pretty darn good. I sold both of them, so let's see, we've got this coming down here. All right, so these are my tulips. There's a rough sketch. I've got this, and I am using my Sennelier paints along with these Kuretake paints that I like. Let's see, we're gonna start with all yellow. These are yellow and orange tulips, and the very tip top is this beautiful yellow. So I'm just gonna actually paint the whole thing in yellow and then drop in my oranges. Let that sit for a minute. Let's see, we'll mix a different kind of yellow. We've got a little bit of white on this palette, which is not bothering me too much. Let's see. Round, and that's a deep orange on the inside. Let's just kind of go in here with, boy, these are beautiful. I can't remember what these are called. They're orange and yellow stripes. It's a certain type of variety, but I cannot, that's not pointed. That's like that. Let's see. Bring in a little of this warmer yellow here. I could be making a mistake doing this with the yellow. I don't know. You can approach different paintings. Let's see, making sure I'm taping. Different paintings, you can use a lot of different approaches when you're painting. Sometimes some work out better than others. Like, you know, I could just paint the yellow line, let it dry, and come back in with orange, or I could try to drop, like I'm going to do, some of the color in. Now these other ones are probably drying too much. Let's see. Let's drop in a little bit of this. We're gonna make a reddish orange. Add this like poppy red from, make sure that's not too wet. Just, let's see how much this runs. I want this coming up just a little. You know, watercolor can be so difficult. You can't really, I can't really control it as well as the other mediums. It's very tricky, but boy, when it works, you certainly end up with some beautiful effects that are, I feel like, not replicable to do in oils. They each have their own unique characteristics, these paints. Let's see, this is coming down here. This one's up and around. There we go. We'll see how that. So I'm going to come in with even a redder. This is a nice dark. Oh, I should have taken the yellow in the middle here. This is a nice dark red back here. It's kind of in the back. We'll see how this, get in here. With a little bit actually of like a greenish yellow, like that. And let's see, this has a nice dark, that's too purpley, dark red like this. And maybe I should use a smaller brush. Let's see about using this Princeton Aqua Elite. This one has some really nice stripes in it. there. And let's see, this is even more orange here in the front. And a nice little stripe there. And then these are going like this. Another stripe. There we go. And then it's actually got a real deep red hiding in here. That, all right. And let's see, this one also has, it's real deep in here. Let's, this comes all the way down here. Tulips are such a fun, tricky flower. And let's see, we've got a teeny tiny bit coming under here. And then this one is much brighter orange. Come in this way. I think I left a little too much of the other color on there, but that's okay. This comes down like this. And around to here. This has two yellow stripes. You know, you never, or I never know with tulips if they're gonna turn out. Sometimes they turn out great. Other times it's like, oh, that didn't work. Let's see. This one, I'm not feeling terrible about. All right. And this has actually darker in here. Very dark on the inside here. Darker above here. Drop in some of that and that. All right. And let's see. This other one back here is also pretty dark. Let's mix some yellow with this and see. That's kind of a nice. Okay, let's see. We've got pull down some. This one's like this. All the way down, and we've got a nice green bit at the bottom here. This is a green circle, and then we have a little bit darker in here, and this one only has a little bit of the yellow showing through. Let's see. bit of this lighter pink down here. Boop. Okay. And now we're gonna put a little bit of this green. It's a beautiful kind of a lime. Very light lime green that turns to yellow going in here. And I should wet this a little because these have, it's underwater. Put water in here, so we want it to run a little bit. Wet this and let it dry. And I don't mind that there's a little bit of this orange pencil that I put in here. Just kind of brings in a little color from above. All right, let's see. Maybe I'll do a few more of these really pretty yellow green stems. This one, need a little more paint. All right, and actually a little more yellow. Super, super yellowy green at the top here. We'll bring this one all the way down. Oh, I like the way that's running there. Here, let's straighten this out. We've got some really pretty green leaves down here. Let's see. And I feel like I'm missing, there was a backwards facing one here too. That's very dark. This brush has a heck of a point on it, and it's fine. Let's just fill this in, and then I'll get the little yellowy circle that's at the bottom here. This is very dark back here in the shadow. Okay, and do the little yellow circle that's in the middle here. And then we have actually a green leaf going right through here, and a dark green leaf here. I'll let that bleed into that a little bit. I'm rushing because I know my mom and sister are coming over for dinner, and I have overextended myself this weekend. Not any different from any other weekend, but okay. Boy, this has a real nice big leaf under here. Kind of disappears behind some other yellowy one coming in here. This one turns yellow, and let's do this big green. Yellow stem over here. Okay. Okay. Boop. yellow ones down here. Sorry, I notice when I really start concentrating, sometimes I whisper, and I don't mean to. All right, here we go. Over here, we've got some beautiful yellow green here, and got some real pretty pinks and yellows coming off of here. A little bit here. Now we've actually got some real pretty yellow on the end here. This yellow one goes upside down. I'm gonna have to put some darker red behind there. I'll try and mix some pink in. There we go. And real dark back here. Okay. And dark here. Really dark up here. This is nice where this meets the green. Got nice darks coming down here. This actually comes all the way down. Oh, is it 5 o'clock? Could be that my mom is here. I don't want to hit stop, so let's finish this up. Let's go. We've got a beautiful, let's mix some dark green, some red. I've got a beautiful leaf coming out this way, comes back down around inside here and disappears behind this. And let's see, I have these beautiful dark green back here and a few more. I have these big beautiful leaves coming up here. Okay, so we go like this and go like this. And I forgot a few little, okay, that one is backward facing too. Let's see. Whoop. And this one also. Got these nice leaves in here. Okay. And what we have through, okay, we've got a real nice dark green and red. It's gonna go right through this. And then it's almost a gray. It actually is a gray. Should add a little orange to that. Really gray it up down here. Add a little bit of purple to that. So I'm just paying attention to varying my greens in here and trying not to use the same green over and over again, and paying attention to this little leaf that comes forward. You want some interesting variety in your shapes and your leaves. You don't want them to look like they're cookie cutter, one that looks the same as the next one, same as the next one, same as the next one, because that's not how they look in a bouquet. Now I'm adding some purple at the bottom to kind of bring that green forward. Getting in between the leaves. What I like about challenges like this that I'm participating in, this Strada challenge, is that I feel a little less precious when I'm doing it. I'm not trying for a sale-worthy piece or something, something that I could put in a gallery. This is all for me and my personal creativity. Not meant to sell, not even meant really for anyone to see if I didn't put it on YouTube. And it's just, if you have the chance to participate in a 30-day challenge, I would give it a whirl. You have nothing to lose, and it's very interesting to see what everybody else is doing. There are two different places, I guess. Facebook and Instagram is where the Strada Easel challenge said you could choose to post on either one or the other or both. And I chose just to put it on Instagram, but some artists put their work on both. So now I'm just coming in close to the end here, putting in some details on the petals. The petals have these beautiful red stripes and orange stripes with a little bit of brighter yellow on the edges of these petals. And they're just a really fun tulip to paint. And again, I'm not trying to get the general feel of this bouquet and not an exact photographic copy. I prefer paintings that are not, I mean, it's fun to like try to absolutely replicate what you're looking at in a trompe l'oeil kind of way, but I also like to give it some artistic brush strokey look, so that it's not an exact copy of what you're doing. You don't want it to look like a photograph. Otherwise, you would just take a photograph, print it out, and hang it on your wall. It should, I feel like a painting should have some painterly qualities. Yes, you want people to, or yes, I want people to be able to tell what they're looking at, but you also want to add some painterly areas that are not picture perfect copies of what you're painting, if you get what I mean. But I struggle with having a nice balance of both when I'm painting. And now I'm putting a little bit of dark red at the bottom, because it turns under in that area. So if you darken it up there and kind of soften the edge, it'll create a turn on your object. And now I'm ending it up. I've got about 10 minutes left of just putting in these little details at the end. This one tulip that was facing backwards, I'm not real thrilled with it, but it's not a focal point, so I was just trying to kind of push it back a little bit, darken it because it was a little bit too light, hoping that wouldn't bring it forward and call more attention to it, and then bring it down around the bottom, and then just darken the greenery in front of it so that it's not quite the eyesore that I feel like it is. I usually love painting backwards flowers. I did a wedding bouquet for my daughter years ago with a backward flower in it, and it was my favorite flower of the whole painting. It's funny when you're painting how certain elements of it will become your favorite favorite item in the painting. And I didn't expect the backward flower to be one, but I'll have to dig up a copy. Maybe I can plunk a copy in here so you can see what I'm talking about. Here it is, the backward flower right in the middle. That was my daughter's wedding portrait that I did with the flowers that were an arrangement from her wedding and the shoe that she wore. And again, it's funny how the backward flower out of all of those things was one of my favorite elements. So it's funny how that happens. Anyways, back to the painting. So now I'm bringing in the greenery has dried, super light, and I'm coming back in with the medium and darker values that are in these leaves. Interesting thing about watercolor is how it dries a couple shades lighter than how you put it on, which is very different than oils. And actually, for tomorrow's Strada challenge, which I completed today, I redid this painting in gouache because I was interested to see the differences. And so I will put a link to tomorrow's video at the end of this video if you want to watch it. It's I did it actually on the blank page that is right next to what I am working on here in this video. And it was just interesting to see the differences in the medium, what you could do. And it's just a whole different way of painting because watercolor, you go light to dark for the most part. There are people that go dark to light, but the general rule that I have learned going through teaching myself this medium is mostly people go light to dark and put the darks in at the end. And with gouache, you can go dark to light, which is how I originally started painting in oils. It was always putting in your darks first and then putting in your lights. And the brain is a funny thing. You learn one way and it's kind of almost unlearning when you do watercolor. To me, it's just fascinating the different ways you go about painting with different mediums. That is something that interests me quite a bit. And watercolor is so gorgeous, but can be quite frustrating. But I'm not unhappy with this. This is a fun painting. I love tulips, love tulip season, and I'm glad they're starting to hit the grocery stores, and so I'll be doing quite a few more tulip paintings while they're on the stands. And if you like tulips, paint along with me. I'm not getting super detailed on these. I just want to get the basic idea of this bouquet across. I mean, a person could spend quite a few hours fiddling, more so with oils because you can go over it and over and over it. On a watercolor, you can easily overwork it by fiddling with it too much, which can be a little frustrating as well. I am trying to bring out the dark in the middle of these a little more to give them a little more shape. But again, I'm not trying to overwork it. Putting in these little black pistils maybe that are in the middle just changes that whole flower. You can see on the right where I dropped that in. It just really helps get that shape across on the tulip. And then up at the top, this is another backward flower. I had two backwards flowers there, which I was not real thrilled with, but again, I was happy with the one drooping down on the left and the real pretty one in the back and the two cupped ones in the front. So I was just trying to kind of minimize the attention on those flowers. And I always forget a stem. There's a stem. I don't know why that is. Most of my paintings, I end up at the very end realizing there is one flower without a stem. And we're going to put some dark along the bottom here. Just kind of shape these a little bit. And just kind of fiddle with these. Like I said, watercolor doesn't allow you to fiddle very much. Now I'm taking some Dr. P.H. Martin's Bleed Proof White, which I really like because this vase that my daughter gave me has a white wire little handle on it that hangs down. And it was part of what I liked about this bouquet, this vase. It just is a nice little touch. It's a little farm style glass container. And on tomorrow's painting, I actually took the time to do some of the a little bit more reflective work on it, and the little circle with the lettering on it on the front. And it's fun to do the same painting twice, I feel like. What was it? Monet that painted the haystacks like 100 times, and they all look different. And so it is fun to take your same setup and do it again the next day, because it's just, you've gotten a lot of you learn a lot the first day. You overcome some hurdles with some of the paint colors or the values, and so I feel like you learn a little something extra the subsequent days that you redo the same painting. Just a thought. Anyways, now we are finishing up. We're getting really close to the end and putting this little handle. It shows through the glass there. And I am going to finish talking, and thank you for coming to join me. If you're here this far, most people don't make it this far through the video. I think I'm the only person on YouTube that sits and watches entire painting videos, and I have rapt attention. I just love watching people paint. Everyone. It's fascinating to me. So I hope you enjoyed this. Hope you got a little something out of it. I'm taking my little black pen and just giving it kind of a sketchy look. Like I said, I'll put the link to tomorrow's day 6 challenge for Strada Easel, and it's a fun one. I hope you join me for it, and thank you so much for hanging out with me on day 5 of this challenge. Have a wonderful day.